In 2025, the cruise industry is super competitive. Each cruise line is trying to outdo each other by adding new amenities and features on their new ships. And this cruise line is deciding to shake things up, and it is making it extremely interesting for the cruise industry as a whole. What's up, guys? My name's Kyle. If you're new here, you're watching the Boat Breakers, feel free to subscribe and check us out on Instagram. We usually do some giveaways and give away some pretty cool stuff, like we are giving away a cruise 4 people. It's the only plug I'll make in this video, I promise. Let's continue. Whether you only sail on Carnival or you're loyal to Royal or even get on MSC or Norwegian, you have to admit that Virgin Cruise Line is doing some really interesting things. And I know I just made a video on Virgin Cruise Lines, and I promise you I'm not getting paid by them at all. This is just coming off straight from facts. And yes, this video is actually going to be data driven for once, to back up why Virgin Cruise Line is actually one of the, if not the best cruise line currently in 2025. So what makes Virgin so special? Well, to start off, they have an insanely high cleanliness score from the CDC. So yeah, I told you, statistical data. With an average of 98.7 on their CDC inspections, they are among the top cruise lines for cleanliness, next to only Disney and Explorer Cruise Line, which are both upwards of $500 a night. So when you're looking at Virgin, it seems like a steal to get this level of cleanliness. Not to mention that one of their ships, the Valiant Lady, literally scored 100. It was impeccable. It was flawless. Their cleanliness and attention to detail on Virgin does not go unnoticed. Not to mention that Virgin doesn't even publicly make this known. They do 2 unannounced inspections by the VSP, which is the inspection company that does all the cruise lines across the entire industry. And they don't have to do this. They decide to go do this. And this company inspects areas like the galley, recreational areas, cabins, and the unspoken killer HVAC systems, because there might be dust in the vents, there might be mold on the ship. And this inspection makes sure that all of that is known. And like I said, one of their ships even scored 100. Some other accolades that are given to this cruise line, especially this year in 2025, is that it's won Travel and Leisure's best cruise line in 2025. And this is the 3rd year in a row that it has won. So almost ever since its debut of Virgin Voyages, when they just announced their first ship, this cruise line has been consistently ranked #1, which definitely means something. This year, they scored a 94.8 out of 100, and this takes into things like dining, activities, amenities. So it takes a broad look at the ship and what these ships have to offer, and it scored super high. So high, in fact, that its closest competitor was an 84. So it's 10 points higher than the closest competitor, which is insane. Not to mention, in 2025, USA Today has nominated Virgin Voyages in 6 different categories to be #1, which is Best Adults Only Cruise. I'm honestly pretty sure that this is kind of a given because they are pretty much the only adults only cruise, but we're just going to skip over that one. Best Shore Excursions, Best Cruise Line for Solo Travelers, Best Cruise Ship Dining, Best Cruise Ship for Entertainment, and Best Ocean Cruise Line. That is a lot of nominations in 1 year. So let's talk about why Virgin is so desirable, especially when you have every cruise line has these really cool attractions. However, people who sail on Virgin continue to go back to Virgin Cruise Line, and they don't really venture off anymore because they think that that is the pinnacle of travel now. And they're so desirable because they're doing upfront transparent pricing. There's no hidden fees like tips, those are included. No upcharges on dining, all dining is included. And there isn't a drink package, which helps kind of deter all the riffraff that happens on other cruise lines, like fights, because, well, people probably aren't drinking as much. And if they want to, it's coming directly out of their pocket. Virgin's shaking things up because it is an adults-only cruise line. So you can see some entertainment that you wouldn't typically see on other cruise lines, like drag bingo, seesaws for adults, which is kind of fun, arcades, retro record shops, tattoos. They're the first to do a lot at sea. And these aren't crazy attractions like a roller coaster, go-karts on the top deck of some of these ships. However, it is small little things that add up to make a really great, enjoyable vacation experience. Not to mention that they are a super tech-forward cruise line. Their rooms are pretty much all controlled by a tablet. When it comes to lights, AC, there's different settings for your rooms. If you're in a balcony cabin, they have a cool little hammock instead of some chairs. It's all just really fun and playful, and it feels like that you really are a kid, even though it is adults only. They are catering to the adults to let loose and have some fun. Not to mention that their ships are designed to be super modern, sleek, and contemporary in style. So if that's your thing, these ships are world-class designs. They have Michelin-star chefs curating the menus. It really is like you're going to a five-star resort on a cruise ship, and not every cruise line can say that. Some people just tolerate the food on their cruise ship, whereas people who are on Virgin literally go for the food. And if you're into health and wellness, they aren't pushing the drink package because, well, there is none, and they have tons of classes like Pilates, spin classes, boxing, all included in your cruise fare as well. So like I said before, it is very inclusive. It's almost like an all-inclusive resort, other than the major drink package lacking. But I have heard that they are testing the drink package on some sailings, so that might actually roll out, and that could probably be a good thing to attract passengers. So when you look at things like service, dining, and amenities, Virgin has dominated all of this just by their nominations in all of these different travel magazines. And it's pretty obvious that Virgin Cruise Line is up and coming, and it is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of cruise lines are taking note, and they're doing things like offering adults only sailings to test that out. Like some Carnival ships are rolling out adults only sailings now. So, yes, Virgin is a little bit more expensive. However, you are getting cleanliness, uniqueness, great food, great service, and an overall different experience than if you go on any other major cruise line.
Fuck them kids. Fuck the kids?
Yeah. Anyway, I want to know from you guys, if you've sailed on Virgin before, would you consider doing another cruise line after that? Or is Virgin on the horizon for you because you haven't been able to book a cruise yet with Virgin? They are a little pricey, and I do understand that. So I just want to know in your comments, get a feel for what Virgin's like, because, well, we're going in a couple months, and I'm super excited for those videos to come out. So be sure to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy. Peace.